You're listening to BL Nocturne. The story you're about to hear is an original work, written and produced by BL Nocturne. Please do not copy, reproduce, or repost it without permission. Tonight's story, Blood Moon Contract. Book 1. Chapter 4. The First King. The Hall of Origins fell completely silent. Beneath the ancient staircase, a single crimson eye remained open, watching, waiting. No one dared move. Kael stood between Lucien and the darkness, his silver sword raised. Rowan tightened his grip on his black and silver blade, while even Malachar had lost his confident smile. Then the Guardian slowly backed away. For the first time, the ancient beast looked afraid. A deep voice echoed through the sanctuary. Who dares awaken the first king? The ground trembled. A massive armored hand emerged from the darkness, engraved with silver symbols that glowed like dying stars. Slowly, a towering figure climbed the staircase. One step, then another. With every step, the sanctuary grew colder. Lucien's moonstone burned against his chest. Kael glanced at him. "Stay behind me," Lucien nodded, unable to look away. At last, the first king stepped into the light. He was enormous. A weathered crown rested upon his long dark hair, while ancient black and silver armor covered his powerful frame. Time had spared his face, but not his crimson eyes. His gaze swept across the sanctuary. The Guardian, Rowan, Malachar, then Kael. Recognition filled his expression. The bloodlines survived. Kael tightened his grip. "Who are you?" The ancient king turned toward Lucien. "And the moon's chosen." Lucien instinctively touched the heart of Selene. "How do you know me?" The king took one slow step forward. "I knew the one who carried your blood. My brother." Silence fell. "Your brother was the first moon's chosen?" Kael asked. The king nodded. "He sacrificed himself to seal the gate." Lucien's voice trembled. "Then why are you here?" "Because the gate was never meant to remain closed forever." Malachar stepped forward. "You finally remember." The first king's expression turned cold. "You were not the one who awakened me." His crimson eyes settled on Lucien. "He did." The moonstone released a brilliant pulse of silver light. The sanctuary shook as ancient symbols blazed across the walls. Then something beneath the staircase moved. The first king's voice became grave. "I was not the one you should have feared." Kael raised his sword. "Then what lies beneath us?" The first king looked directly at him. "The thing I sacrificed my kingdom to imprison." A deafening roar erupted from beneath the gate. The Guardian immediately dropped to one knee. Crystals shattered throughout the sanctuary, and the first king whispered, "It has awakened with me." The Hall of Origins fell silent once more. Only the faint hum of the awakened sanctuary echoed through the chamber. Lucien looked between Kael and Rowan. Neither lowered their guard. At last, Kael spoke. "Why?" Rowan's calm expression never changed. "You should ask. Why they lied to you. Who?" "The Royal Council, the Oracle, the Elders. They told you I died defending Blackstone Fortress." A bitter smile crossed Rowan's face. "And for 1,000 nights, you believed them." Kael's voice grew heavy. "You were my first sword. I searched every ruin. I refused to leave that battlefield until every stone had been turned." Rowan nodded. "I know. because I was still alive. The words struck like lightning. I called your name. You were only steps away. But before you reached me, they found me first. His eyes darkened. They dragged me into the shadows. They healed my wounds, rebuilt my body, and filled my mind with truth your kingdom buried centuries ago. Kael's grip tightened around his sword. Who? The Order of the Black Wolf. Lucien's heart raced. The hunters? They're only servants, Rowan replied. The Order has existed since before Illyrian itself, and they've searched generations for one person. His eyes settled on Lucien. The moon's chosen. Lucien instinctively stepped back. Me? Kael immediately moved in front of him. Enough, Rowan sighed. Still protecting everyone, just like before. Kael's voice turned cold. If you've come to harm him, I'll stop you. I know, Rowan answered sadly. You always could. Slowly, Rowan reached beneath his cloak. Kael raised his sword. But instead of a weapon, Rowan revealed an old silver insignia bearing the royal crest of Illyrian. Kael froze. It was a badge he had personally pinned onto Rowan's armor. The day he became First Sword, you kept it. Rowan closed his hand around the insignia. It reminded me of the man I used to be. Silence filled the sanctuary. Then Rowan met Kael's eyes. I didn't come here to kill you. I came to save you. Before Kael could answer, a deafening roar shook the Hall of Origins. The cracked sanctuary doors exploded inward. Stone fragments filled the air. The Guardian had broken through, and this time it was not alone. The Hall of Origins erupted with thunder. Ancient stone crashed from the ceiling as the shattered doors burst open, filling the sanctuary with dust. Lucien shielded his face. When the haze cleared, two enormous crimson eyes glowed through the darkness. The Guardian had returned, its massive body squeezed through the broken entrance, black fur shimmering beneath the pale blue crystal light. Behind it, dozens of shadow wolves silently entered the sanctuary. None growled, none attacked. They simply watched. Lucien swallowed. There are so many. Kael never looked away. They're not here to hunt. Then why are they here? Before he could answer, the Guardian slowly lowered its head. Not toward Ron, toward Lucien. The heart of Selene burst into brilliant silver light. The Guardian froze. Its fierce crimson eyes softened. For the first time, the ancient beast looked like a protector. Lucien instinctively stepped forward. Don't, Kael warned. But it isn't looking at me. Rowan quietly approached the Guardian and rested a hand on the glowing silver crest upon its forehead. It was never created to destroy, he whispered. It was created to protect. Lucien frowned. Protect what? Rowan met his eyes. You? Silence filled the sanctuary. That doesn't make any sense, Lucien said. I've never been here before. No. But someone carrying your blood has. The moonstone pulsed again. Crystal pillars answered with radiant light as ancient symbols spread across the floor, forming a glowing circle beneath Lucien's feet. Lucien, step away, Kael shouted. Lucien tried. He couldn't move. The silver light grew brighter. The Guardian slowly stepped closer, then lowered itself onto one knee. Its head bowed before Lucien. One by one, every shadow wolf did the same. Rowan closed his eyes. I feared this. Explain, Kael demanded. The Guardian obeys no king. It recognizes only one authority. His gaze settled on the glowing pendant. The blood of the moon's chosen. A chilling silence followed. Then, someone began clapping. Slow, deliberate. A tall figure stepped from the darkness, dressed in elegant black robes embroidered with crimson symbols. A silver mask concealed his face, leaving only a cold smile. His eyes settled on Lucien. So, he laughed softly. The prophecy has truly awakened. Kael raised his sword. Who are you? The stranger bowed politely. My name is Malachar. His smile widened. And I have come to claim what belongs to the blood moon. Silence filled the Hall of Origins. Even the Guardian stood perfectly still. The masked man walked calmly through the shattered doorway. The shadow wolves stepped aside, making way for him. Crimson symbols shimmered across his black robes beneath the moonlight. Kael raised his sword. You've taken one step too many, the stranger smiled. I've waited centuries for this sanctuary to awaken. Lucien frowned. Centuries? Time means little when you serve the blood moon. Kael's eyes narrowed. The Order of the Black Wolf. You remember us, the stranger replied. I remember monsters. Rowan remained silent. You know him? Kael asked. I wish I didn't, Rowan answered. The stranger laughed. My old student. You still blame me. You stole everything from me. No, I showed you the truth. He removed one glove, revealing crimson markings pulsing across his hand. Lucien's moonstone burst with silver light. The two powers collided, shaking the sanctuary. The stranger stared at the pendant. The heart of Selene. Lucien blinked. My pendant? It has always had another name. Kael stepped in front of Lucien. Stop talking. Ignoring him, the stranger continued. It didn't choose you because you're worthy. It chose you because it remembers your blood. Lucien's heart pounded. My blood? You are the last descendant of the first moon's chosen. Silence followed. So it's true, Kael whispered. Rowan lowered his head. I prayed it wasn't. Lucien looked between them. What does that mean? The stranger answered. The first moon's chosen sealed his soul inside the heart of Selene, waiting for one descendant. He pointed at Lucien. You. The pendant glowed brighter. A faint voice whispered, Lucien. He gasped. Did you hear that? Hear what? Kael asked. Rowan stared in shock. He has begun speaking. The stranger smiled. Excellent. Time is running out. Suddenly the Guardian growled. Its crimson eyes locked onto the masked man. For the first time, it looked ready to attack. I hoped to avoid this, the stranger sighed. Crimson energy spread from his hand across the floor. The shadow wolves leaped forward. The Guardian roared. Kael lifted his sword. Lucien, stay behind me. The first shadow wolf attacked, and the whole of Origins erupted into chaos once again. Darkness spread across the sanctuary as every ancient symbol turned completely black. The first king stared at the walls in disbelief. This cannot be. A quiet laugh echoed through the chamber. Malachar stepped forward, calm as ever. Did you really believe you were awakened to save them? The first king's grip tightened around his ancient sword. What have you done? Only completed the ritual my order began 1,000 years ago. Rowan's expression darkened. What ritual? Malachar raised one hand toward Lucien. The heart of Selene carries the blood of the moon's chosen. Then he pointed toward the first king, and the first king carries the other half of the seal. Kael understood immediately. So you need both. Malachar smiled. Exactly. Without warning, black energy erupted from the floor, twisting around the first king's body like living chains. He fought back. Silver flames burst from his sword, but the darkness continued spreading across his armor. Let him go, Lucien shouted, stepping forward. Kael caught his arm. Stay back. The first king cried out in pain. His crimson eyes blazed brighter than ever. Rowan's face turned pale. He's being controlled. Malachar nodded calmly. He was never completely free. The ancient king fell to one knee. His sword struck the stone floor. The entire sanctuary shook. Deep beneath the gate, the unseen creature suddenly fell silent, then slowly retreated into the darkness. Kael frowned. Why is it pulling back? The first king slowly lifted his head. His voice no longer sounded like his own. Because his glowing eyes settled on Kael. I am becoming the key. Lucien felt his blood run cold. Malachar spread his arms. The gate requires the first king to open. His eyes shifted to Lucien. And the heart of Selene will keep it open forever. Kael stepped protectively in front of Lucien. You will never touch him. Malachar smiled. I don't need to. Suddenly, black symbols spread beneath Kael's feet. Before he could move, dark chains burst from the ground, wrapping around his arms and legs. Kael, Lucien cried. He rushed forward, but Rowan grabbed him. Don't, it's a trap. Kael struggled against the chains. Lucien, run. I'm not leaving you. The first king slowly rose. His ancient sword glowed with crimson light. Pain filled his eyes as he looked at Kael. Forgive me. He lifted the blade. Outside the sanctuary, the blood moon turned completely black. The blood moon turned completely black. For one terrifying moment, the Hall of Origins vanished into darkness. Only the heart of Selene remained visible, glowing with silver light against the shadows. Kael strained against the black chains binding him. Lucien, run. But Lucien stood his ground. I'm not leaving you. Before them, the first king raised his crimson-lit sword. Pain filled his ancient eyes. Kael. He took a step forward. I cannot control this. Kael met his gaze. Then fight it. The words echoed through the chamber. For a moment, the first king froze. Then Rowan stepped forward. He's right. Remember who you were. The king's hand began to tremble. Across the sanctuary, Malachar's voice thundered. Do not resist. Darkness tightened around the first king's body. He cried out in agony. The sword lifted higher, then came crashing down. Kael closed his eyes, but the strike never landed. Silence. The blade hovered inches from his chest. The first king shook violently. Slowly, the crimson glow faded from his eyes. Silver returned. Recognition returned. By remember, Malachar's expression darkened. What? The first king turned toward Kael. I remember the promise. Then he spun and drove his sword into the black symbols beneath the sanctuary floor. A massive wave of silver energy exploded outward. The chamber flooded with light. The chains binding Kael shattered instantly. Rowan shielded Lucien. as the blast swept through the Hall of Origins. Malachar was hurled backward. No. The gate began collapsing. Cracks spread through the ancient structure as silver light poured from within. The first king turned toward Lucien. "Protect the heart." Lucien stepped forward. "What about you?" A sad smile crossed the king's face. "I have waited 1,000 years for this moment." He looked toward the darkness beneath the gate. "Now I must finish what I began." Without hesitation, the first king stepped into the collapsing abyss. Darkness swallowed him. Then the gate erupted in a blinding burst of silver light. The entire sanctuary shook, and suddenly, everything became silent. Kael rushed to Lucien's side. "Are you hurt?" Lucien shook his head, but before either could speak, a sharp sound echoed between them. Crack! A thin black fracture appeared across the heart of Selene. Lucien stared in horror. No. The crystal pulsed weakly. Then a voice whispered from deep within. The first king was only the beginning. Silence fell across the Hall of Origins. Far beneath Illyrian, something else awakened. Something older. Something far more dangerous. And this time, it was coming for Lucien. Thank you for listening to BL Nocturne. Until next Friday, when the blood moon rises again,